alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Well, I'm the last speaker, so I'll be the shortest of them all. These Christian guys, they like to go talk on. Of course, I guess I'm one of them too. So don't get too comfortable. We all have this interesting commonalities. And we're all sharing in a very remarkable journey. And many of us started the journey, as I said earlier, kind of in a negative, bigoted, ignorant perspective. And the Saudi ambassador gets up and reads the Quran the first time in perhaps 50 years. It's always the Bible, of course. Well, I was a conservative, to our Presbyterian friend, evangelical, Zionist, Republican, member of the Congress, Middle East Subcommittee, and I could speak a little Hebrew and I was proud of it. And when that happened, I was very angry. So he came to visit me on the Hill and asked a question that was life-changing. Have you ever had a question asked of you that changed your whole life, your perspective, your destiny? He said a simple question. Why is it that you dislike the Quran so much, and have you read it? Well, I was already an arrogant politician to begin with, and for someone to challenge me with such an obvious, simple question, have you ever read the book? And guess what the answer was? No. Lie. Then how do you know it's of the devil? Well, because I've been told that over and over again by my Christian evangelical friends. So we easily become inculcated, indoctrinated in a certain mindset because we hear something over and just accept it. Just accept it. I must in summary tell you that out of embarrassment of a man challenging me, have you just read the book? Mr. Theologian and smart scholar, smart congressman, I was so embarrassing. I ran to the bookstore to grab a Quran, of course in English. Now, please don't hold this against me because I understand the dynamics now, but back then I had my pen ready to underline, sorry, everything that I didn't like about it. 12 years later, it's been a dynamic journey. Because not only did we see things we enjoyed about the Quran, but we're powerful. We're consistent with the Torah and the Injil. And then the second major turn of his journey, meeting Abdel Azim Elsiddig in the congressional dining room of all places. I wanted to ask someone who knew, a learned scholar of Islam, more detailed questions, and ever since then I've been driving him crazy. How do you say this? What does this mean? What does this say in the Quran? What's the Arabic word? But we have had a wonderful life together over the last several years. But I'm going to warn you of one thing and to give you an exhortation and a warning, and then I'm going to be done. The exhortation is we need to pursue each other's holy books because they're not that much different. So don't be fearful. Yes, we ran into some things that from the English translation seem different. These are things that have caused wars, I believe, hatred, bitterness, and some of the bigotry that we face back and forth. And they tend to center around, not around Abraham or the oneness of God or Noah or Mary. They tend to center around Jesus, frankly. However, we found, and as the book will clearly outline for a plug of the deadly misunderstanding, that the things we think we don't agree with, some of these critical, controversial, don't talk about these issues in front of Muslims, or don't talk about these issues in front of Christians. These issues can be resolved by simple linguistics and contextual understanding of the text. Most of them. And Abdel Azim has been a partner in discovering these exciting things, and so many people have thought that these are preposterous notions. We've been fighting each other for 1,400 years over is Jesus the Son of God, the Trinity? Yes, these controversial issues. And you, a dumb politician, are going to tell us that you know more than somebody over 1,400 years? I said, I am a dumb politician, that's correct, but I've got a good teacher. And we sort of tripped over the Aramaic of Jesus, which is a cousin of the Arabic, to finally look in the original Aramaic text of his original recitation of the Injil. We find unbelievable commonalities. First, Jesus was conceived by what? The Ruh Allah, correct?
Yeah.
Now, what does Luke say in the Aramaic language? Now, so close your eyes and listen. This is Aramaic. Ruka Allah. Do you hear the similarity? Well, let me tell you, it's not similar, it's identical. Ruh Allah, Ruka, Ruh Allah, Allah. The exact verbiage. What are we fighting over? Nothing. It's a deadly misunderstanding. Now, here's the warning. I appreciated all the encouragement of all my fellow colleagues up here to get involved and work towards salam, or shlama in the Aramaic, peace. But there is a counterforce. There is a cost to it. And many of you know what I'm referring to. There is a significant cost to pursuing peace. It's spiritual, the invisible world that the Quran talks so much about, and it will manifest in the practical realities of life. So yes, it's an exciting journey, but it will cost you something in the end. But is it worth it to bring peace to almost a third of the world's population, and while the rest of the 2/3 is watching? Isn't it time that we reached out our hands and really sought peace, not just in the basic, typical things we understand, but begin the challenges of some of the areas that we think we disagree on. And perhaps, God willing, inshallah, we can find that common ground, adiyya mushtaraka, even in the things heretofore we thought of each other as heretics over, we can now become brothers and sisters. Allah ma'akum.
Really? Yes. The reason is they said it twice in English, once in English. Yeah. I mean,